Hey, what's up everyone? Danny Lightning back with another CSR2 video. Today I'm going to teach you how to tune your cars to beat those nasty sprint races where you either have to do 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 really fast. And not all cars have good acceleration. For example, this car has terrible acceleration but great top speed. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to do a test run. Let's go ahead and do a test run, and we're going to check out the 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 times. And then we're going to go in and we're going to completely retune the car. Alright, so this is how we normally drive this car. And I did hit nitrous on a earlier gear than normal just because that should help the 0 to 60 and 0 to 100s a little bit. Alright, what did we get? So we got a 2.4 and a 3.2 on the 0 to 60 and the 0 to 100. So now what we want to do is we want to retune the car. Generally, we're going to take our nitrous, we're going to pull it all the way over to the right, and then we're going to take our final drive and we're going to pull it all the way over to the right. And then you're just going to adjust your tires until the dyno time gives you the fastest 0 to 60 and the fastest 0 to 100. So there we got a 1.5 and a 2.8. So we had a 1.8 and we had a 3.0. So look how much time that knocked off. A couple tenths of a second on each one of these. Now remember, when you move this to the right, generally the car loses all of its top speed, but it gets great acceleration. So it is going to shift much faster. And what we're going to do, since we've got it doing this, we're going to do a completely different shift pattern. We're just going to shift this car normally. So we're going to try and get a perfect start, early shift in the second, hit our nitrous, and then just all good shifts after that. And that should give us the fastest 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 time. So let's go ahead and do another test run. All right. There may be a few cars that don't work properly with this method, but this will probably work for 95% of the cars in the game. Every once in a while you find a weird one where pulling the slider all the way over will just cause so much wheel spin or something that it's going to accelerate slower, but most of the cars in the game, this is how you do it. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Second nitrous, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. All right, and that does cause wheel spin on this car, but it also makes it accelerate much faster. Now if you notice, we only hit around 192 miles per hour when this car usually does, like, I don't know, 350 or 400 or something. So there we get a 1.5 and a 2.8. If you look at the last run, we did a 2.4 and that went down to a 1.5. This one went 3.2 down to a 2.8. So I'll tell you what, that took a lot of time off, okay? That took a lot of time off. So that's how you want to tune for 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 races. Now, if you notice the car has way too much wheel spin, let's just say your tire, maybe the dyno time gives you the best time with the tires up here. Well, the more grip, the less wheel spin generally. So sometimes you might have to adjust the tires a little bit different. On this car though, they definitely go down to 8 psi. If you get too much wheel spin, even with your tires wherever they are, you even might need to dial this back just a little bit to avoid some of the wheel spin. But you will find a weird car every once in a while, okay? But most of the cars, all you got to do is move this over, and then adjust these tires until you see the best time on the 0 to 60 and the 0 to 100. And that will almost always give you the best acceleration for your car. Now, if you take something crazy like your McLaren F1 that already accelerates really fast, and you go into the tuning and you do the same thing with it, right now we got the final drive over at 2.0, but if we pull it down this way, it's going to give us ridiculous amounts of top speed. We do have a minus 999 on the Evo, and it shows us a 0.3 and a 0.6. So according to this, it actually got slower. So there's a possibility that this could be one of those weird cars, but let's go ahead and do a test run with the normal settings. This is where we normally keep it. And we're going to try and figure out how to make this car accelerate a little faster. So let's test run this guy and see what happens. And we got slow loading times today. There we go. 3, 2, 1, go. So this car already shifts crazy fast. All right, and it accelerates like crazy. We didn't even hit our nitrous on that one. Sometimes this car has a weird problem where the nitrous doesn't seem to go off, and that's what happened to us. Well, let's see what we got. There we got a 0.2 and a 0.5. That's crazy. So let's go ahead and retune this, and let's see what that does. Let's see what that does. It's probably going to shift so fast, it's going to be unbelievable. So on a car like this, I don't know if this is going to be better or worse, but on this car, I would just slowly play with that transmission slider till I found the fastest times. 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. that accelerated. Oh, look, it's barely hitting 100 miles per hour. That probably slowed it down. So this is one of those weird cars where, well, you might need to play with it a little bit. Like the last car, it worked perfectly. It accelerated too fast this time. Too fast. It's almost so fast you can't even get your fingers to shift like that. So that slowed us way down on this particular car. So let's try like somewhere with the transmission in the middle on this one. All right. We probably just want to adjust the dyno time until we actually see the best dyno here. So that gave us a little bit extra. Let's go ahead and do a run like this. So this is going to be one of those weird cars where moving the transmission over to the right is just too much acceleration and the car just can't handle it. But generally, most cars are going to react really good to the first thing I showed you. See, I can't even shift that fast. That's too fast, guys. It's too fast, okay? But on a car like this, the acceleration is so good in the first place, you're never going to have to retune it anyways. But I just wanted to show you like an example of one of the weird ones. So there we got a 0.229 and a 0.628. But if we go ahead and just put it back to this, let's go do one more test run and see which way was faster. So not all cars respond properly to nitrous all the way to the right and transmission all the way right, but most of them do. So if you find one that doesn't, you just kind of have to play with it until you find the best top speed. But most cars will react great to the first thing I just showed you guys there. All right, so there we went. That was it. All right, that should probably be a little faster, I think, than the last run we just did, but let's find out. Nope, that was a little bit slower. So anyways, guys, that's all you got to do. If it doesn't work out with the transmission all the way to the right, simply just move the transmission slider and do several test runs until you get the best time on the 0 to 60. But like I said, generally nitrous all the way to the right, final drive to the right, and then just move the tires until you see the best time on the dyno for the 0 to 100 and 0 to 60. Okay, this is one of those cars that's weird, but most cars will be like the first thing I showed you. All right, guys, have a great day. Catch you later.